Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're here from Bristol today with our next track guide. We're going to break into this thing. We're going to show you how to get around Bristol, some key things to take away, and how to save some tire around this place. So let's jump on into this thing. Okay guys, so I'm going to walk you around Bristol here. The banking is going to be key as far as getting around this track. You can take the low lane or the high lane. There's going to be some benefits to either, depending on if the race is going to be long green flag runs, if you're looking for speed, that sort of thing. So you're going to want to be mindful there. But we're going to get you around this track as best we can. I'm going to kind of walk you through kind of your braking points and what you may or may not want to do here. So as we get across the start finish line, I like to set up right up close to the wall. It's going to give you your best entry. And at about this point right here, you need to start figuring out, am I going low or am I going high? And we'll kind of get into why you may want to run either or, later on in the video here. But at this point, you need to start figuring out if you're going low, if you're going high, because you're going to have to start getting onto the brakes and pointing the car where you want to go. So I'm going to do one lap high and one lap low after I get done doing my walk around, so you can see kind of the different entry plans. Now, it does have progressive banking, so that's also going to play into this, but you're probably not going to wind up in the middle. Your best bet really is going to be diamonding, kind of like Dover, but again, that's going to be personal preference. The car does have like a weird snap, and there is a hump here in 1 and 2 that you have to be careful with. But as you come out of 2 here, you're going to kind of for the most part, you're going to be somewhere in the middle, depending. And again, you're going to bring it back out to this wall area. And just like we did on the front stretch, we're going to go ahead and set up right about in here is where you need to make your call of, am I going high? Am I going low? And some of it's going to depend on how is everybody else racing. That's going to play into your factor of, am I going high? Am I going low? Am I going to make a pass? Am I not going to make a pass? That sort of thing. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this thing around at speed, so that way you guys can see what it looks like around here. And like I said, we'll do one high, we'll do one low, and then that way you can make your best educated guess here. So, all right, so here we go. We're going to go high for the first lap, hard on the brakes, kind of trailing it through, back into the gas, hard on the gas down along the wall, hard on the brakes coming in, running that high lane. Now this next lap, we're going to run the bottom. So we're going to, right about here, we're going to get on it hard, ease off that brake, down to the bottom, keep your foot on the throttle, bring it back out to the wall, hard on the brake again, get it down to the bottom, back into the gas, and that's 2 laps here at Bristol. All right, now that we've done 2 laps around this place, we're going to get into the key points to take away for this race here at Bristol. Number 1 is going to be save your tire. This place is a cheese grater on these tires, especially even with the progressive banking. That's going to come into effect a lot. The setup, I will give iRacing this. It runs really nice. I'm actually kind of shocked. It seems to want to go to either the high lane or the low lane, as we just talked about in the last clip there. So the other thing to take away, choose your lane. Do you want to be a high lane runner? Do you want to be a low lane runner? And that will come into effect especially if this race goes long stretch, right? So we're going to bust right into it. I broke this up into a low lane or a high lane situation, so that way you guys can make the best guess on your driving habit, especially around this place where checkups are aplenty and running over people is kind of high. So the first setup that we went with a 12-to-1. I'll call it the low line setup, which is, again, running the low lane through 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It's tight. It's manageable. Seems pretty decent. It seems to kind of want to start to loosen up as you go through the run. My fastest lap was a 16.431. Right front tire wear was 98%. Right rear was 96. Left front 94. Left rear 97, and that right front tire temp was 221 on that outside edge. I was kind of shocked by the left front tire wear, but as we get through this, it'll kind of make sense why it seems to be eating the left front and why you're going to want to probably try to take care of that left front a little bit. The next we went to the high lane setup. So again, 12-1. It was tight but manageable. The fastest lap time was a 16.451. Our right front tire wear, 97%. Right rear was 96. Left front, 95. Left rear, 98. So the wear on them on the high lane seems to be a little bit better, but our right front temperature came up, so we're sitting at about a 232. If you like a tight steering race car, I would probably stay with the 12-1, and the high lane is pretty manageable. You're going to kind of diamond more than you're going to really run that wall, if that makes sense. Next setup that I tested was 14-1. We'll call this the low line. It did feel a little floaty at first, but it got comfortable as that the tires started to warm up. Our fastest lap was a 16.658. Right front tire wear 98, right rear 96, left front 94, left rear 97. Tire temp was down at 220. So again, we're kind of eating that left front if we stick to that low line. So it's going to be something to kind of keep in mind. Next, we went to the 14-1 on the high lane. Again, it's still floaty, but comfortable. Fastest lap, 16.381. So we were faster, obviously, running the high lane with this setup. Our right front wear was 98%, right rear 97, left front 96, left rear 98, with a right front tire temp of 239. This was the best wear pattern that we had. So this might be, if you know that this race is going to go long run, it may be your best idea to run the 14-1 on the high lane, especially if you like a car that kind of, it feels like a old Delta 88 is the best way to explain it. Kind of a little floaty feeling, but overall pretty comfortable. Like I said, I was pretty happy with it. It ran really nice, but that's all the info I've got for you. You may want to try using a offset on the 14-1 just so you're not steering that wheel hard left as much as I was feeling. So you might go +4, +6 somewhere in there. Just that way you're not really burying that wheel hard to the left. But all in all, I think iRacing actually did a really good job with this setup. I think you guys are going to like it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So jump in, get a Bristol race in, go mix it up on the short tracks, and now that we're off the super speedways. So I hope this helps you guys. I hope all these videos have been helping. Leave a comment below if this works or doesn't work for you. But all in all, I hope you guys have a great week at Bristol, and hopefully we'll see you guys at the races.